Just screwing things up left and right today. All right, fuck it. Hi everybody, it's Brian. It's Tuesday, and yeah, I'm just can't even hit studio mode properly here on this damn thing. Anyway, um, yeah, I'm back. It's been a long week. After we had our interview with Emily, Tuesday and Friday, I ended up needing to do a few things for work. I got swamped at work, uh, prepping for an event that I don't know. I don't know how it is for you, for people who are watching, the stream and where you're at in your career, but there are jobs that you will do that are going to be a complete waste of your time. And you will do them, and you know that nothing will matter for that, even if it goes off without a hitch. You're going to spend a lot of time working on something, and you just, uh, and it's, it's for an event, or you write a document or something, and I don't think I've ever seen more useless work than at where I currently work. I think, getting ready for an event or something, and you go through all this work to try to get people in line to do things at a certain time, and then they pull out, or they're just, yeah, we're not interested anymore doing that. And you spend meeting time with them, you spend trying to ramp up and getting things ready, and then it's just like, yeah, we're good, we're not going to do that anymore. And I just don't care anymore about making sure that that's done. And to be fair, if I said, yeah, we're just not going to do that anymore, people will be disappointed, sure, but nothing changes. And it just really, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to rant too much about it, but yeah, it's just been a shit sandwich today, and it was very busy last week because of other things, but some of it is this as well. So it's just unfortunate that people can't seem to get the fuck out of my way. And it's not my, it's not my, it's not the people I work with. It's the people I have to deal with, our customers, if you will. Uh, just get the fuck out of the way. You're in it, and you're not helping. You're not helping. The organization that you're working with. You're not organization working in. So just get the fuck out of the way. So if you're watching this, just get the fuck out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, um, so a little update. Apparently, threat intelligence quiz is back. SOCVEL, or the person who generates the SOCVEL reports or tests, are back. And so, oh, there I am. Yeah, so I don't. They said their website was down for maintenance, but I think they're good to go. So I do know. Let me see if the site's still loading. It was taking a long time to load the other day. I'm hoping it's still working, because when I loaded this up earlier today, everything was okay. So the quiz is still working, and I actually saw it on Reddit today. I think no, um, yeah, it was on Reddit today on like the Threat Intel feed or something like that. So thought I'd do that, and then I have made some headway in inheritance on um, boot.dev. So, um, going to be maybe playing around with that if we've got time. So, hope you are here, and if you're interested, they just, oh, by the way, they just announced, where is that? They built an AI course. So they have a Gemini. They're going to use Gemini, Google Gemini API, to build a Claude code clone. There you go. Obviously, it's a toy version, but still surprisingly powerful at taking a task and applying it to an existing code base. So, um, what it sounds like they've done is they've taken Boots, which is their AI, and they're showing us how to build one of those for us, for ourselves. Of course, they say the main purpose of the course is to show you how these kinds of tools work and that you can use them in the future. It's also another Python program or project that they're trying to build. They're trying to build familiarity with, right? So you're getting concept, yeah, higher order functions, multi-file projects, practice working with AI APIs, if you will. So if you are, interested, there is a way to, join that. Hold on, let me double check and make sure everything's okay. Cool. Um, yeah, you can go to their website. You can, I mean, if you want to drop right into this, you're going to have to know some stuff first, right? Let me scroll back in here. So it's gone live. So you can go to the dashboard. Let me see, where is it? Okay, so it's number 8 on the list. So assuming you know how to do coding in Python, of course, you probably should know Linux. If you don't know Linux, you're probably going to need to start there. You could probably skip 2 and 3 if you know Linux. You may not need to know Git on this. Building the book bot. God damn. Building the book bot would be another one. You can probably skip as well. I don't know how much object-oriented programming you're going to need in Python. That one is hard as fuck for me. So y'all know my pain on that one. Not sure how much asteroids you're going to need. Functional programming, I hear, is a nice refreshing pace after dealing with OOP for a while. So I'm looking forward to that one. Uh, in not so many words, and then building an AI agent. So there you go. And then they have other things like algorithms and data structures, which ideally you should understand. It's going to be complex algorithms, writing faster code, problem solving skills. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff there. So they also moved the static site generator module, which, where did they put that at? I forget where they put that. It might be down here. Oh, there it is. They moved it to 10th. So they moved it down a few notches because I think they said there's some difficulty with that, right? So yeah, this course now comes right after functional programming, and site generator moved down to where the maze solver was after DSA, which is data structures and analysis. And the maze solver is no longer in the learning path at all. You can still take it under the all courses page. You might be wondering why. Apparently, SSG is difficult as all get out. I think it's a lot of unit tests and stuff like that, which I guess unit testing is hard, or creating unit tests for testing code. So they said they wanted to move it down now, the double whammy of FP and DSA, or FP. FP. I don't know what FP is. Oh, functional programming and data structures and algorithms. God damn, man, I do not know what happened all of a sudden. Yeah, it's not a double whammy. So, yeah, they said it's not going away though. It's important to know the hard projects, and I get it. And as I'm going through OOP, I'm wondering. I see OOP a lot in like Java type programming. We have the dots and everything. So I'm muddling through. It actually took me a bit to solve these things, but I'm starting to understand, I think, a little bit more than what I was doing. And I actually ended up having to go to like W3C to read about inheritance there. W3C schools there to talk about, where is it? Inheritance. C sharp, Python inheritance. There we go. Yeah, I actually looked at this one today. Um, I don't know if it's maybe the different UI or the different visuals that I'm seeing, but it kind of made sense. Hmm. with regards to, the super function, which is when you inherit all of your methods and properties from the parent, as it mentions here. So if and I mean, I understood the concept of if, a car or all vehicles, cars or all vehicles, car can inherit everything from vehicle. What was it? It has to be true, right? So everything has to be true for inheritance to work, in this case. So yeah, I mean, there's many examples of that here. If you want to, okay. There we go. One of these days, I'm going to change the hotkeys on Control C, Control V, so that way I can actually copy paste into a text box on OBS. I don't know why all of a sudden they mapped that to a different spot, but yeah, pasting into text is a pain in the ass there. So, all right, so I'm going to start some music. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. There we go. Let me know if that's too loud for y'all. Hit me up on chat and say, hey, Brian, turn it down. Sounds like a Abercrombie and Fitch in here or something. And we'll go through the Sackville quiz, and then we'll go back through and do some of the exercises for that. All right. So I have not read these ahead of time. I'm just like you. If you've not gone through and read your news in the last week or two, there were a couple of stories I did read, but I don't think they were. I don't know if they're in here or not. And Sackville's been out for 2-3 weeks. I'm guessing on holiday. That would be the most likely observation. So could be any number of things. So all right, Sackville Cyber Quiz. Which Android rat was used to spy on Syrian soldiers? I'm assuming, yeah, see, I don't know any of these. This is going to be a complete guess. If anybody has any thoughts, or if you're lurking and you feel like you know this answer, please feel free to hit join me. And there's no wrong answers, because I'm going to probably get this wrong, because I have absolutely no idea. I've never heard of any of these. So I'm going to say Gold Digger. Nope. Spymax. Okay, so how a spyware app compromised Assad's army. Oh, New Lines magazine. All right. So there's that. There we go. So high-ranking Syrian officer recounted the final days of the regime. A mobile application quietly distributed among Syrian officers via Telegram protocol spread rapidly in their ranks. In truth, the app was a carefully planted trap and an opening salvo of a hidden cyber war. Perhaps one of the first of its kind against a modern army. Militias had weaponized smartphones, turning them into lethal instruments against regular military. Okay, so the one question I'd like to know is, what was the app that was spreading so quickly through Syrian officers in a Telegram channel? What was the app? I mean, what was so freaking popular that they needed to, distribute it through a Telegram that was probably illegal because they sent it through a Telegram channel, or maybe it was something like a Google Maps that was enrolled. I'm just, it would be nice to know what kind of app that was. Banning mobile phones within the ranks or devising countermeasures to stop them from becoming roving surveillance nodes, but that never happened. Okay. So the Syrian army needs some, yearly security training or something. Don't just randomly share apps that may or may not be completely owned up by Android kit. I wonder if somebody accidentally added the wrong person to the Telegram group, and that bad person, depends on who you're talking about, that bad person is a white hat hacker or somebody who doesn't like the Syrian army. Yeah, who orchestrated the cyber attack and to what end, right? So they want to go through the whole analysis, so they don't want you to go, if it smells like the IDF, and it looks like the IDF than it is the IDF, or whoever they're fighting against. My apologies if it is not in fact the IDF, but or so Western sanctions, who are they fighting? Let's see. Launched an Operation Deterrence of Aggression. A mobile application began circulating, had an innocuous name. Okay, so just oh my God, seriously? It just had this was the name. Oh, I'm sorry. Looks like it's got about 12-point font on the screen here. So the name of the app was called SDT or STD, or this right here, the app right here. That's it. Operated with disarming simplicity. It offered the promise of financial aid, requiring that the victim fill out a few personal details. Oh my God. That is crazy. Wow. Okay. And expectation of financial help. Users would supposedly receive monthly cash transfers of 400,000 Syrian pounds, $40 at the time. God, that is nuts. Man, that's great. I mean, that's amazing. So they're offering a special service for officers, first disguised as a humanitarian one, claiming to support the heroes of the Syrian Arab Army. Okay, sure. Jesus. Okay. Well, anyway, you can read that article. Man, well, okay, it worked. Good form. Cypherma detailed escalating cyber operations in the war between India and which country? Well, historically, I'm going to pick, I don't think it's Russia. I don't think it's China. I mean, China and India have had their differences in the past, but Belarus is too far away, I think. My initial thought is India and Pakistan, right? Because there's always been kind of a tension there. And I think I did see a couple of videos on Reddit where both countries were making this elaborate display during the changing of the guard, where one guy's like gush stepping like a rocket at Radio City, and got his peacock feathers in and everything, and he's just acting a fool. So I'm gonna say Pakistan on this one, of course. Wish I could find that video, but okay. All right, now there we go. Executive summary. All right, so we've got an executive summary. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, we're committed to up-to-date insights, blah, blah, blah. Okay. In early 2025, tensions between India and Pakistan coincided with an unprecedented wave of cyber operations by non-state hacktivist groups triggered by a terrorist attack in Kashmir, which is a region that is under dispute right now. These operations, defacements, denial of service, and claimed data breaches primarily targeted government, defense, and critical infrastructure networks. Okay. So there you go. Militant attack on tourists in Pahalgam. Pahalgam? That's too bad. Happened April 30th. So yeah, there's probably hacktivist groups on both sides that are attacking each other. So in this case, website defacements, DDoS, exploited vulnerabilities. So PHP-CGI. Oh my God, that still exists in this day and age. PHP file upload plugin weaknesses. Oh my God, that's nuts. That's nuts. Wow. Spoofed Indian government portal used in a phishing campaign. Okay, very cool. So they have also issued public claims of cyber attacks against the Ministry of Defense, all the forces of the Indian military, various certs. Wow, they hit everything, I guess. There's not much left, right? So embassies and nuclear infrastructure, and proofs. So there you go. You can follow along there from Cypherma, which I've not heard of Cypherma. So that's an interesting group. So you can go and check that website and that article out if you'd like. You know, I'm sure that they're gonna. Oh yeah, so they've got some IOCs, they got some write-ups, they got some interesting code here. So yeah, if you're wanting to go look at that, that'll be available to you. All right. According to Huntrez, according to, that's interesting. So is it Huntress or Huntrez, and they just got rid of one of the S's? I don't know. InfoStealer. So according to their crash course, I'm assuming they have a course on InfoStealers. What malware is the origin of InfoStealers? Zeus feels like. I feel like the guys on the wall when they're like dissecting questions. I shouldn't hate on those folks for like, you know, doing that, but it feels like Zeus is going to be the right one for this. There we go. All right. So Lindsay O'Donnell Welch wrote this article on Crash Course, a Tradecraft Tuesday recap. All right, so it all started with Zeus, a quick history of InfoStealers. All right, yeah, Zeus came out in 2007. So for some of you watching this, you may have been like single digits when this came out. So yeah, they give you a little bit of history here on this. So you've got Jaska Stealer, Steel C, Atomic Stealer. I think it's interesting how they managed to keep track of all this. And like, you know, I imagine, I want to say there's like a Wikipedia or something that goes and like Malopedia, I think Malwareopedia, something like that. But you can follow all of this that goes back. My question is are these variants of those, or are these ones that were spun off, or these are forks like you might find on GitHub? It's like, oh, Metastealer was, yeah, and so Dark Luma Syndicate is now Metastealer. Did they combine their powers into one, or did Steel C go over here? Was there a, you know, for Steel C they split off into 3 different groups? Did they all just decide to go their own separate ways and do their own separate things? It's interesting diagram here. Not only were InfoStealers starting to crop up, they were also targeting more than just financial data, including crypto wallets and software license data. Soon, the true industrialization began to take form, with power players like Raccoon, Vidar, and Redline being built out. At the same time, marketplaces like Genesis and Russian market started booming. All right. By the way, this is our good friends over at Chill Hop Essentials, Chill Hop Music. So if you're interested, you go check out Chill Hop Music and they can get you hooked up with any music. Just want to give them a shout out so that way I don't get sued or have a takedown kind of thing. All right, go back. Yeah. All your data belong to us. Other types of data that InfoStealers target: cookies, SSO tokens, JOT tokens, session tokens, MFA, 2FA, and OTP keys, right? Crypto wallets, recovery and seed phrases, API keys, and cloud service creds. Okay. And then there's a video on YouTube from, it is Huntress, but it's interesting. So they removed one of the S's from that. So that's interesting. Okay. I didn't know that's how you did that. I would have just left both S's on there. So I'm just a corn-fed hick though. So, you know, that is what that is. Let's see, paste. There we go. There's that one. Next. There we go. Oh, see? Okay. So a $10 million bounty was issued for Maxim, the creator of what? InfoStealer malware. Okay, so we go back to here and we saw examples of some of these. Zeus, here's Zeus. Looks like there's about oh, you know, the one thing I didn't notice was there appears to be about a 6-year difference between AZO, Rolt, Zeus. Here's Vidar right here. It started in 2018, split off from Raccoon, and Genesis Market. So Genesis Market and Vidar became Genesis Market. I'm assuming the blue ones are the ones that are still working or active, because They're blue, not red. Red would be dead. Red is dead, right? Anywho, so all of those were here. I'm assuming if this is Sarah. Let me see, was there somebody? I wanted to see if they mentioned the $10 million bid in here. So, okay, so in 2024, international authorities announced the takedown of Redline and Meta. Okay. I don't know if the $10 million thing is in here, but considering it was a follow-on question, I'm gonna go Redline because I have no clue. I don't know about the $10 million bounty for Maxim, so I'm gonna say Redline. Oh, I got lucky. Look at me, I got lucky. Oh, okay, so rewardsforjustice.net. So you, there we go. Think. Rewards for Justice. I don't know who Rewards for Justice is, so that's interesting. $10 million for information leading to the identification or location of any person while acting at the direction or under control of foreign government, participating in malicious cyber activities against U.S. critical infrastructure in violation of the CFAA. So that apparently is this person. So if you've seen Mr. Neckbeard, you know, tell your friends or whatever. $10 million. Damn, that's rough. So if you're really worried about him finding out, you can always go to this Onion browser website, and assuming you've done everything correctly, you've maintained your anonymity, and you know, they won't find you. So there you go. You've used online monikers Dendemir, Alan Chalk, wow, a lot of them. Bloods, Phoenix, amongst others. I'm assuming those, you know, make sense to somebody, and they strike fear or whatever into the hearts of people or something. So anyway, next. I don't want to jinx it. I'm just saying. I don't want to jinx it, but you know, don't want to jinx it. According to Cronus, what are the Linux variants of Chaos Rat usually deployed for? Well, rats are remote access Trojans. Doesn't make a lot of sense to DDoS using a remote access Trojan. Oh, you know what? I want to. Why am I focusing on espionage? Don't know about a lot of Linux variants being used for espionage. It seems to me crypto mining would be, you know, what they would want to get out of it. But I'm gonna say espionage. This. I watch The Wall, so when I'm seeing people like, oh, espionage, lock it in, you know, like, okay, so espionage. No, crypto mining, okay. See, either one, right? So crypto mining would make a lot of sense in this case. All right, so Cronus TRU, Threat Reconnaissance Unit, maybe? Oh, Threat Research Unit, there you go. TRU, Threat Research Unit. Identify new variants of Chaos Rat, a known malware family in the recent real world Linux and Windows attacks. It's open source. Rat, see remote administration tool. Oh, it's not access tool. Remote administration tool. My bad. Seen in 2022, evolved in 2024, new samples discovered in 2025. Researchers uncover a critical vulnerability in the own web panel that allows attackers to execute remote code on the server. But wait, so the researchers have found something in a remote administration tool that allows good people or bad people, other bad people, to download and execute remote code on the server in a way that is not meant by the people who first deployed it. So bad people deploy the rat. Other bad people can come in and go, oh, they're using Chaos Rat with this version. Do they get a CVE for that? They should issue a CVE for the Chaos Rat web panel problem. That's, you know, it makes sense. Let's get some CVEs for that. What's this? You know, remote code exec on a rat would be like a, you know, 10.1, 10.5, you know, that kind of thing. It's like Terabad, you know, developed in Golang. cross-platform compatibility, which is why you use Golang, right? Windows and Linux systems, right? Another clear example of how useful legitimate tools can contain vulnerabilities and be repurposed for cyber criminal activities. So there you go. Yeah, you can probably find this online. It says it's open source, so hold on, let me pull my browser up here because it looks like there was a link. Oh no, it's just another link to another Acronis article. Cyber Protection Center posts Steeler, the dark side of open source. Okay, so the dark side of open source. Let's copy and paste that there. There we go. Okay. And so where's the... So they go in and talk about the chaos rat, but then, you know, the panel, wow, this is a nice looking panel. You know, having had to deal with UI problems or user experience issues. One of the things that I've always been amazed at is how easy some of these rat things are being used. As we've seen in the past couple of weeks when we do these quizzes, Dragon Force and other ones are really trying to get people to use their tools. So they're really, I want to say, focused on a good user experience, which I don't see that a lot in more legitimate tooling. It's sad, really, because I just tried to install, is this Nix? No, where is it? I just tried to install Nix, which is a Linux distribution, in VirtualBox and on my MacBook here. And one of the issues I had was, one, the mouse doesn't work when you click inside of VirtualBox, which doesn't normally occur with most Linux distros or with VirtualBox. But there was a point where, I'm okay with using the tab for the interface to be able to move around inside a VM. I've tabbed for years. I can shift tab to go backwards in the same, instead of having to tab 50 times in one direction to get back to the top, you shift tab and you go backwards. There's a point in the graphical UI installation where you get stuck and you can't tab, and it's right where it says, hey, do you want to enable non-free software? If you go tab and you go to the non-free box and you want to check that box, you can check the box all day. You can't tab off of it. And you're stuck and you're trapped. So you got to start the installation over again, which is fine. And you get almost to the end where it's like it wants you to install the software, or there's something going on and it tells you these things about resilience and whatever. The dialog box is below the desktop. And because you can't move the window that the installation dialog is in, you're stuck again. So I've got to figure out what to do with that. I don't have a non-wireless mouse or anything to connect directly. It's over Bluetooth, which should just work, but it just doesn't. So it's a problem. It's a problem. I wanted to try it because people were talking about it being easy to use or something. So anyway, moving right along. According to Talos, how was the Russian APT wiper malware deployed against Ukrainian critical infrastructure? I do not know this one, but given that we just had a story about Syrian soldiers, downloading and installing or sideloading an app, still can't get over that one. It's literally named for the Ministry of Trust, which whatever Syria has for that. It's a malware. Jesus. Okay, anyway. How was it deployed? Wiper malware. SQL injection seems a little too specific. Phishing would be the most likely, because if you want to get anything installed on a machine, you just phish, social engineer, right? OpenRDP, that would be specific for Windows or for some kind of remote, desktop protocol, like if Linux was running some kind of RDP implementation. That one seems a little too specific to me as well. Unless you can pivot through that one host that is open, which is entirely possible. So I'm going to say endpoint admin tool. There you go. My thinking on that one was the endpoint admin tool would administrate all of the endpoints in the environment, which would allow for massive lateral movement. You know, the other three were a little specific and per box, right? Not every box is going to have SQL running on it. Not every box will have email so that you can click on it. So this is the only thing that would allow for a mass kind of, you know, target of critical infrastructure. So this is from Cisco Talos. Yeah, destructive attack on critical infrastructure using an unknown wiper called Path Wiper. Okay, the attack was instrumented via legitimate endpoint administration framework, indicating the attacker's likely had access to the administrative console that was then used to issue malicious commands and deploy Path Wiper across connected endpoints. So they guessed a password because, you know, the passwords are easy, or there was an already legitimate RCE or auth bypass kind of issue in the system, it's my guess. Or, you know, Occam's razors, somebody had, you know, Slava Ukraina as their password or something like that, and, you know, got in. Talos attributes this disruptive attack and associated wiper to a Russia Nexus Advanced. What's Russia Nexus Advanced Persistent Threat Actor? Okay. High confidence based on TTPs and wiper capabilities overlapping with destructive malware previously seen targeting Ukrainian entities. There you go. So it's a VBS file, batch file. It's consisted of a command to execute malicious VB script called UAC install VBS, pushed to the endpoint by the administrative console. So there's a bit of draw the owl here, right? First, get access to the remote endpoint administrative tool. So once you've done that, you can do all of this, right? Because as the remote admin tool or remote endpoint admin tool, so instead of a RAT, it's a remote endpoint REAT. So it's a REAT. You have trust, right? Every device trusts that device because, hey, it's the remote endpoint admin tool. So it automatically trusts it implicitly or explicitly in this case. And, you know, since the capabilities of the admin tool is to push updates, push new software, new, you know, like an MTM solution, if you will, is to push those things to those devices. It has God mode on all of those devices. So that's keys to the kingdom kind of shit right there. You know what I mean? Yeah, Path Wiper's mechanisms are semantically similar to another wiper family, Hermetic Wiper, seen targeting Ukrainian entities in 2022. Foxblade or near miss is attributed to Russia's Sandworm group in third-party reporting to medium or high confidence, with medium or high confidence. Both wipers attempt to corrupt the MBR, master boot record, and NFS-related artifacts. So they, you know, blow away the bits on the hard drive that allow you to load the OS, in this case. And it's very much like scorched earth, right? So you overwrite the MBR with zeros, and then your grub goes away, right? So the grub loader, which exists in the MBR. I think that's right. I'm saying it, and the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm saying that is correct. The bootloader, which, yeah. And other NTFS related artifacts. So there's some other bits there that need to be done as well. So. Okay, so this is okay, you can bypass all of that shite, blah, blah, blah. This is the add part right here, so you can bypass that. Indicator of compromise, they have a hash. So if you find the VB script bit, you can, or maybe the exe, I don't know which one this SHA-256 is for, but yeah. So yeah, if you're a Cisco customer, you know, there you go. And if you're in the Ukraine and a Cisco customer, then, you know, you'll hopefully get some assistance there. All right, next. Based on ReliaQuest, what domain types does Scattered Spider impersonate most? Scattered Spider is I think that's a CrowdStrike naming convention. Spiders were, I believe, cybercrime. So my guess is it's going to be finance. Thinking finance. No, technology. Okay. Targeting tech companies. All right. 81% of Scattered Spider's domains impersonate technology vendors, targeting high-value credentials like those of sysadmins and executives. Sure, why not? Group primarily leverages phishing frameworks like Evil Nginx and social engineering methods like vishing to gain initial access to organizations. 70% of Scattered Spider's targets belong technology, finance. Wait a minute. So I was right. I was right. But I mean, wait, I don't know. Wait. So 81% impersonate technology vendors, but 70% of the targets are technology, finance, and retail trade. There's something wrong with the way that works. So yeah, I don't know how that's working out, right? But it's either 81% or 70%. I want to say I was right on that one. We'll call it a half a point. Yeah, so they hit Marks and Spencer. So we read about that one last month, where Marks and Spencer was one of the retail organizations that was hit by that. Maybe that's why retailers was what I thought of. Maybe I was remembering that in the back of my mind. Focus on technology. They're hitting MSPs, IT vendors, and leverages one-to-many access, right? So MSPs and IT vendors, you're going to have, one of your third parties, one of your vendors is going to have access to multiple companies. And that's what happened in this case. 81% of registered domains impersonate technology vendors. Maybe that's what they meant by the 81% of. Yeah, maybe the 81% up here is the 81% down here, where the domains of 81% target tech. Domains and subdomains containing Okta, VPN, help desk, and SSO. Sure, that makes sense. You want all of those things, especially. Typo squatting techniques, slightly alter legitimate domains to deceive users. Right. Company with a 0 instead of company with an O. Domains host. Wow, my wife just started cooking. I can smell that. Analysis of phishing kit activity. Yeah, Evil Nginx or Evil Nginx. Yeah, Evil Nginx mimics legitimate login pages to capture credentials and session cookies in real time, bypassing MFA. Right. Yeah, so that's a good article. You can go to ReliaQuest. Hey, Digital Warhead. Who we hacking today? We're doing the Sackville quiz, and we've had Russia attacking Ukraine. We've had India attacking Pakistan. We've had Syrian officers downloading really crappy Android apps that are supposedly going to send them money, but it just sends them remote administration tools, so rats. So it's been a mixed bag. That whole area from Asia Minor to the Pacific it's just been a hot mess. Not that our North America's doing much better, but all right. So we're going through the Sackville quiz. I'm actually doing okay. I'm about average right now. I was on a roll there for a bit, and then I messed up. So we're gonna continue on. Okay. Google warned about UNC 6040. Oh. That company warned about UNC 6040 using vishing to compromise what organizations what. All right, so the previous article had mentioned subdomains, Okta, VPN, and it's not the same, but I'm kind of making that leap here, right? So they said they were doing, I would say Okta. I'm going to say Okta. No, Salesforce. Oh, damn. I am the suck. All right, so GTIG. Okay, financially motivated threat cluster that specializes in voice phishing campaigns specifically designed to compromise Salesforce instances for large-scale data theft. Well, sure. Or by having its operators. Oh God, really? Are people still that stupid? Repeated success in breaching networks by having its operators impersonate IT support personnel in convincing telephone-based social engineering engagements. I just, ignorant. IT will never call you. IT will never call you unless you've asked for it. They don't spend their day calling people, having them download shit off the internet to install it. Seriously. And I don't know if that's something that IT needs to send out an email. It's like, hey, we'll never call you. We've got better things to do than to help you individually, or, you know, it's more of a one-way street. You come to us and then we'll reach out to you, and we'll only do it in official methods, not, hey, download this fly-by-night, you know, piece of shit programming. We've already got all the software we need installed on your computer to be able to get into it, including surveillance software that, you know, monitors your web camera and all that. Social engineering phone call. Request the user credentials. I'm from IT. You can go ahead and give me your user credentials. It's cool, right? Oh, and okay, I'm going to type those in now. When the code gets sent to your phone, make sure you hit OK. Oh God, seriously. Honestly, I think sometimes I'm in the wrong line of work. IT actively avoids calling people unless absolutely necessary. Get right, Digital Warhead. That's what I'm saying. IT will never call you. It's like your bank will never call you and say, hey, you probably need to pay your overdraft in iTunes gift cards. You know, this is where people, you know, somebody at this company, whatever company got hit, they're taking extra training this month. Taking extra training. Of course, they're financially motivated threat cluster that accesses victim networks, social engineering. Upon obtaining access, they've been observed immediately exfiltrating data from the victim Salesforce environment using Salesforce data loader application. So they already have Salesforce's data loader application. Can you download their data loader application for free, or do you have to have a Salesforce license for that? That is an interesting question, because the other question would come, how did they get that? Can I download that? Oh, I can. I can download that, can't I? Okay, so I can just go ahead and download that. Let's see. No, that's not what I want, right? Is it? I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay. So you can download the Salesforce data loader, and you know, after you successfully authenticated with somebody's Salesforce instance to Salesforce data loader, you can exfil what you want. So good job, Salesforce, on helping bad guys be more effective at ripping data out of company hands. This is the kind of software, they shouldn't be giving this shit away for free. Salesforce doesn't give anything away for free, so I'm not exactly sure why they've all of a sudden decided, hey, let's have the thing that allows us to exfil Salesforce data out there for free. You should have to pay for that shit, or it should come as part of your sales contract. That's nuts. That's nuts. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here's the link to that as well. So. And you know, I've had some feedback because somebody's asked me, hey, why do you do these quizzes and whatever? I think these are cautionary tales, right? They're supposed to be cautionary tales. If you use Salesforce at your office, and anybody who works for a decent sized organization probably does, you should send out an email and say, hey, IT will never reach out to you and say, hey, log into your Salesforce instance. or hey, let me have your Salesforce ID or anything like that. Maybe, you know, and you can put this link in there and say, look, don't be stupid. Don't be this company, you know? It's nuts. I wonder what level of access you need, because this would also seem to think that, you know, I would probably have access to Salesforce, but do I have access to everything on the Salesforce? This almost feels like it would be a targeted thing, like, you know, somebody on LinkedIn who's the Salesforce database person for Fortune 10 company or something like that. And it's like, oh yeah, we're going to social engineer the hell out of this person. You know, yeah. Just feels like that there's a, you know, maybe a larger story there for that. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Because, you know, I have access to Salesforce, but I don't have the keys to that particular kingdom. I would have, I mean, I guess even read access would be enough to dump that data. But, you know, if you're set up your Salesforce correctly, or you've hired Salesforce as a consultant at, you know, $20,000 an hour to do that for you, you should have some kind of permission wall or some kind of auth wall there where you're not, you know, giving that information out willy-nilly. All right, next. Not doing so well here in the last bits here. Which prominent dark web marketplace was taken down by law enforcement recently? Have not heard this one. So Biden Cash? No, I'm thinking probably not. Card Planet? I'm thinking it's one of these, like Card Planet or Cards R Us. Unless somebody else online has a thought. One of our viewers potentially. Maybe like a digital person of some sort. Ryan's Club. Have I seen that little name somewhere? That's feeling awfully familiar. I'm going to say Card Planet. Wow, it is Biden Cash. Okay. Weird. Seems odd that the US government would be the one to seize that particular domain. You'd think they'd let it continue to run. Considering, you know, they love talking about Biden. U.S. Attorney's Office for Eastern District of Virginia. Seizure of approximately 145 darknet and traditional internet domains and cryptocurrency funds associated with the Biden Cash Marketplace. Biden Cash Marketplace uses the platform to simplify the process of buying and selling stolen credit cards. Wow. All right. Biden Cash administrators charge a fee for every transaction conducted on the website. See, that's where they got in trouble. Maybe if they hadn't charged a fee like that, people wouldn't have complained. Yeah, that's how you get shut down, when you have to start imposing fees and stuff. Oh, it's okay, Digital Warhead. I didn't realize that it was that much delayed, so... yeah. That's okay, we both got it wrong anyway. I said Card Planet as well, so... but it was actually Biden Cash in this case. Marketplace domains will no longer be operational and will be redirected to a law enforcement controlled server. It's just a static page, right? So, according to court records, the United States obtained court authorization to seize cryptocurrency funds that Biden Cash Marketplace had used to receive illicit proceeds from illegal sales. There you go. Well, good for them. They, somebody actually in the U.S. government did something good this week. I'm sure there's, 175 new criminal market domains already up and running, so it is what it is. All right, last one, because I'm not doing so hot. I need to break even here. Let's make this happen. What are some cybersecurity vendors deconflicting? It's TA naming. I know this one because I actually did read this article. I believe it's CrowdStrike and Microsoft are getting together. Yeah. So, I did read this article. I didn't read this article, but I read a similar article where they said one report that they had talked about had like 40 different names, all different based on every threat intelligence company that was out there. So they said, yeah, here's Cozy Bear is the same as APT29, UNC 2452, Midnight Blizzard, CrowdStrike says, we believe the industry must do better and take the lead with our partners to make sure that happens. So CrowdStrike, Microsoft, strategic alliance, bring clarity and coordination. So what are they going to do? Let's see. Enabling action. This collaboration isn't about aligning names. It's about enabling action. Okay. By clarifying who is being referenced in threat reports, SOC analysts, incident responders, and CISOs. See, okay. SOC analysts and incident responders, CISOs don't give a shit, can more quickly assess risk, prioritize response, and communicate with clarity across internal teams and external partners. There you go. Aligning taxonomy. While each company maintains proprietary telemetry, we've demonstrated the analysis-driven collaboration to clarify overlaps and align naming across known threat actors. So they've deconflicted more than 80 adversaries. Is that good? Is that bad? How many adversaries do not remain conflicted or remain conflicted? Working from the same sheet of music, yes. They align adversaries tracked between two companies, building a Rosetta Stone. So it's kind of cool that they're going to have to get more people online with this. They're going to have to get the Talos folks from Cisco. They're going to have to get, whoever created the UNC APT29, so like Mandiant, Google Mandiant. So they're going to need Google to get online with this because Google Mandiant also has naming scheme, Talos, or, you're going to have all these, they're going to need to get the big group online. So the CrowdStrikes, the Carbon Blacks, all of the big ones online to make sure that they are deconflicting these things. So, these two will start, and then maybe a third one will join, and then a fourth one will join, hopefully, and they'll be able to do that. So it's pretty cool. Below is a sample of the adversaries we've deconflicted. This just beginning. We look forward to expanding this work and inviting trusted contributors to join us, maintaining the mapping as adversaries evolve and carrying clarity that empowers defenders at every level. Obviously, when this first started, it was a marketing scheme, right? Oh, Remix Kitten versus, Burgundy Sandstorm. So yeah, I think this is a North Korean adversary, Labyrinth Kalima. But yeah. So yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, companies working together to make things better. That up there. So he ended up 5 for 5, or 5 for 10. It's not my best, but I didn't do so well. But yeah. This one showed up actually as of yesterday. But please follow along with Jocko, and if you are interested in supporting, you can. I think there's a, let's see. Oh, I think he had a site. Let me see. You can share that. But you can also go and sign up for the reading list or the notifications. I got them an email, so I didn't click on any of the links in the email talking about the news. I just went directly to the quiz. But yeah, and it's worth the effort. I could spend time writing up 10 of these and doing a quiz, but somebody's already doing a decent job of that. If Sockville ever quit, then I could maybe try to do something like that, but it would take a little bit of time and effort. So I believe you can also go and support the creator of the quizzes online with like a coffee or something. Let me see if the site works. And if you got any questions, you can always hit up jocko@sockville.com. So that's okay, Digital Warhead. It's all good. I got 5 of 5, 5 of 10. So I got the last one. The last bit was that CrowdStrike and Microsoft are joining forces to deconflict their threat intelligence actor naming thingies. So, okay. So I kind of missed the under construction with the guy digging the trench and stuff. I kind of missed that on websites. Nowadays, that would be just murder for an e-commerce website. So yeah, they've deconflicted some of these. I don't know if deconfliction means that they're only going to use Microsoft's. Let's see what they're working for. This concept's been tried before. Largely results in a single researcher tracking open source information, trying to make analytical judgments about what one company tracks is the same as another. Mutual effort and analyst-led deconfliction will combine resources to maintain a mapping for the community and make it available to all those who engage these adversaries on the cyber battlefield. Exploring a coordinated approach to maintaining the mapping and engaging trust partners. Okay, so they're gonna have like maybe a website or a portal where it'd be like, oh, Wicked Panda, and then they're gonna find the 45 other ones. But I want to say, where was that? Yeah, see, single naming scheme isn't practical and not possible because of marketing and PR. Defenders shouldn't have to spend countless cycles trying to delineate if Cozy Bear is the same as whatever. So yeah, when you get a CrowdStrike report, you may not get all the names that are connected to Cozy Bear. If you do it for Microsoft's, folks, you may not get all of those. Same for Google or Talos and all those. Anyway. I don't know if there was any other interesting news. Let me go check my my threat intel feeds here. So, InfoSec, threat intel. What was that? Microsoft what? Oh, Microsoft Patch Tuesday. Yeah, it is Patch Tuesday, isn't it? What happened there? Let's see. Monthly security update, June 2025. 66 vulnerabilities affecting a range of products, including 10 that marked as critical. Okay. 2025 32710 RCE in RDS, remote desktop services, 8.1. Oh, that's a shame. It's only 8.1. Attacker could successfully exploit this vulnerability by attempting to connect to a system with a remote desktop gateway role, triggering a race condition to a use after free scenario, and then leveraging this to execute arbitrary code. Okay. Complexity is high and exploitation is less likely. That's because there's already a ton of better RCE type vulnerabilities affecting RDP out there. So that's, it's almost like Microsoft saying, yeah, don't use this one, use something else that's probably more effective. What's going on? Dinner's ready? Oh my goodness. Okay. How long have I been on? Oh, a little over an hour. Okay. I'm hungry, folks. I've started back on keto and intermittent fasting, so I'm a bit hangry, and so I'm gonna go eat because like I said, I could smell that, and so I'm gonna post this last article up, but just wanted to get back into it, after being off for the week, and all right, so there's that, and I need to delete that. Okay, there we go. So that's the last story there. And I'm gonna go, like I said, I'll be hopefully back on Friday after we've had a rough week. Sorry I didn't get to the boot.dev stuff. I'm hoping to push through that and get back to functional programming or something. But yeah, hope everyone has a good day. Take care of yourselves and be kind to yourself. Sometimes I forget to do that to myself, but we're the only yous we have, right? We're the only people that we have, so we have to take care of ourselves. So have a good day, take care, and we'll see you later. Okay? All right, bye everybody.